Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Merp.
All right, so this week up on the docket is honestly not a lot yet again.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's more stuff tomorrow. It's only Wednesday.
Yeah, so we do have some 84 changes, poll 84 that is.
84 changes.
No, just some quality of life stuff that actually is from the poll blog that just happened like literally last week.
Yeah, everything from Poll 84 passed, by the way.
Literally everything. Also, a lot of people were confused because a lot of things technically didn't pass. If you go to the website and look at it, a lot of things didn't pass technically.
Like the 70, like it barely passed.
Yeah, at least like a few things didn't pass.
65.
Yeah, it's because people don't know that if you look on the website, it includes skips. But whenever they're calculating the percentage of yeses, they actually don't include the skips.
So it's more than 65.
Yes.
Oh, if you just compare the yes and no's. God,
yeah, so
that makes sense.
Like being able to change grand exchange offers on the fly originally got a 65.9%. And once it's adjusted with the skip questions removed from the total, it actually ends up bumping it up to around 76%.
That makes way more sense. Is that what happened with the skill blog? The skill pool?
No.
Okay.
That one was just dumb. Yeah, I honestly don't think they should do it that way because a skip vote isn't a yes vote, so I don't think it should just be removed.
It's not a no vote either, so they're just taking it out of the equation completely. But maybe just don't add skip.
But like that's like the whole premise of the vote is that, oh, you're assuming now 70% of the people that voted said yes when that's not the case.
I don't know. I mean, it would work both ways.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we can go through the docket before we talk about more too.
I guess it's just like why even I mean, it's not like why even have a skip option, but like also why even have a skip option?
Maybe don't have the skip affect the polls in the first place, because seeing the numbers otherwise, even though it's the exact same numbers, makes it feel different.
I don't know.
Like maybe you just can actually genuinely just scroll past it.
I've never been a fan of the skip option in general.
I skip stuff a lot whenever I don't care.
If it's something like PvP like type of stuff, I feel like sure, if you don't do the content, obviously maybe you should skip it. But like chances are people use the GE unless obviously only the people that were Ironman skipped or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Ironman, like there's definitely Ironman that said yes. Like some people said that they are Ironman that said yes. So it's like, I don't know. I know a lot of people do skip, and those are like kind of like a little niche anyways. I know a lot of people do skip just because they don't feel like answering it or something like that, or it doesn't affect them or something like that. But I don't know. It kind of feels like if you're taking the time to vote, just vote. Like I never liked the skip option, honestly.
I know what you mean by like skipping.
and then also, yeah, it's like they're like, oh, you're a person that counts, except for this one, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how to explain my thinking, but it makes sense. I just don't know if they should tell us the skip numbers because that makes it weird.
Yeah. I guess the way it's advertised just never made sense to me. It's like, oh, 70% of people voted yes for this. It's like, no, not really. Because I mean, no, it's like literally by any means, it's not correct.
70% of the people who voted either yes or no voted yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just weird. It's a wonky way of thinking about for sure.
I don't know if I'm weird on this or what, but it's just, it seems super misleading because it's definitely not 70%. You know, that was 65, which is 10% less than what it used to be. You know, it used to be 75 required.
Yeah.
Now it's 70. So it's like,
I'm okay with that.
I don't know. It kind of, I don't like the voting to begin with. Let me preface with that. Yeah, but it feels like it's clear. Already diminished so much from what it used to be, and then now it's kind of like, all right, this is 65%, let's pass it.
I disagree.
It is 65%, that's what I got.
But the people who actually genuinely voted yes or no, it's over 70.
That's dumb.
I get it. We're still in the docket.
Yeah. That's dumb.
That was just a random rant mid docket.
Anyways, besides the poll stuff that did pass, everything did pass, even if it is weird and sketchy and kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. All that passed, and we really don't have anything else to go over.
Q&A.
Well, I mean, obviously the Q&A. We're going to go over the Q&A
I'm
at
really
the end.
hopeful, and for no reason, I think there will be at least a blog tomorrow. Like maybe
Maybe.
Yama like getting excited for that because it's in a few weeks.
Modsarni did kind of unfortunately get people's hopes up and then dashed them very quickly after because someone asked about the
Oh,
clue
clear?
stacking poll.
Oh.
And
Yeah, it's gonna be
Modsarni
a
did say
second.
it was coming out today. And then he went back, crossed that out, and said, never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, where's the blog?
No,
like I didn't
yeah.
even read. Okay, so maybe that's gonna come out tomorrow.
I don't know when it'll
eventually.
come out. I think it'll come out maybe next week. I don't think it'll come out this week, but apparently it was supposed to come out soon. It
Yeah,
might
'cause
just
they said the next few weeks.
it might just come out in the middle of like
May.
no, I was gonna say in the middle of like next week or
Oh.
something like that, or maybe like in a couple days, just randomly. But yeah, unfortunately, did not come out today.
Hopefully there's some blogs because as a heads up, next week is my birthday on Thursday, so we're probably gonna have to record Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, who knows?
Or just all Wednesday.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm not recording on my birthday.
But I also
I'm gonna eat food and play games.
I thought there was a lot of pretty good discussion / questions on the subreddit this week, so I did pull a few of those and thought that'd be kind of interesting for us to talk on it and like see what other people might think about them as well.
Yeah, we can talk about the blog first.
Yeah, we'll talk about the blog first. Well,
Okay.
actually,
well, first we'll talk about how we are.
yeah, I mean, actually, I might throw a few of those in first. We'll see.
Okay. How about for the sake of my timestamps, I want to be clear. Talk about us, and then the community discussion, and then the poll.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Future me, thank you.
But yeah, and of course at the end we will have a Q&A. If you do want to ask us any questions about RuneScape or any other video games or, you know, whatever in general, feel free to ask us on any of our socials, link below, or go to our discord.gg/Bunebape. Feel free to join us there. We have a questions section and
If you
everything
want to
like
know
that.
a little bit more about Moose and Goose, asks questions.
Yeah, you can see pictures of cats.
They're so cute.
But before we get into all that, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. I got another split in the bingo. I got a den split. It was 6 mil, so that was kind of cool.
Wow.
I called in on Friday. I was supposed to work. Bingo was ending at like 6 a.m. Friday, so I stayed up till like 1 a.m. playing the bingo. I didn't call in because of bingo. That wasn't part of the reason, but it was a benefit. It was a benefit. And I was like, we need to grind, blah, blah, blah. Woke up the next morning. We were in last place. We got
Nice.
last place. What? Ark was not sharing the leaderboards because he thought it'd be discouraging, which I agree. I actually like that we didn't have the leaderboards, but it was very funny whenever I found out. I think I like laughed and I was like, wait, what in the world? I thought we were doing well.
Yeah, totally.
It wasn't until the end, like I was in like voice chats with people on my team and Zesty was like, all right, I'm going to go to the pub. We're not going to win anyway. And I was like, what? What do you mean? We're not going to win. And that's when I realized.
Almost first, if not for last.
Yeah. But at least I paid for my buy-in. That's really all I wanted. And now I've been doing some krill because I have a greater demons task. And I was like, I need to start doing bosses on task. So I'm trying to get the CAs. There's one more CA left that I have to get, which is kill him without the guardians hitting me. And I'm trying to copy the wiki, which is very specific. And
Why don't you just get them all on separate ticks and then just pray flick them all?
That's not the wiki, man. Get the mage or the strategy I've been trying, which is like a combination of stuff from the wiki. Get the mage or the ranger to really low health in between KC. Whenever Krill spawns,
Okay.
kill that one, freeze the meleeer, kill Krill, and then the other one can just be hitting you. But my issue is, like, I can't kill them fast enough, like the minions.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm so focused on that minion that the meleeer comes and hits me, and I'm like, bruh. Or in the very few, like, the 3 hits it takes me to kill that minion, the other minion hits me.
True.
But I'm wearing, like, a Justy chest and stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of like the
I almost got it.
awakened version of DKs from leagues.
Yeah. I mean, I could.
Well, the way it's supposed to be done.
I could try to prayer flick it, but I'd have to, like, freeze Krill, which is nice with the Scorch Bow, to be honest. It freezes, like, without fail, which is pretty sick.
Yeah. Well,
But-
it doesn't freeze, it snares.
Yeah,
but
it snares. But my issue is, like, I'll get so focused on that I won't really be paying attention to my prayers. And
Yeah.
then it's always whenever everything's happening at once that I spiral. I'm not good at locking in when a lot of things are happening. I'm very good at, like, freezing, as you've seen when stuff falls and things
Well,
in the
yeah,
apartment.
you
I'm like,
yourself freezing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
me
not
the
really
person, not in
you're
game.
not really a man of action, as they would
I
say.
am really not. That warball when it's dumped on my keyboard, and I was like,
Yeah, you kind of just
stared
sit
at it.
there and like hope that God takes the wheel or something.
I'm just in shock. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had fun in the bingo, even though we lost. Now I'm doing Krill, and that's it. I want to play BG3 soon with Ninja and Rave. Who knows when? I didn't realize the BG3 update is like its last update ever. So I'm really sad about
They
that.
moved on to other stuff.
I don't want them to unless it's BG4
I mean, maybe.
with
I
the
don't
same
know.
people.
It might take another 10 years to find out.
Don't say that. I want updates the whole time. But
why? It's like, what
I
else
really
are they
like
going to
it.
update? It's not like they're coming out with more DLC or something. It's
They
just the
didn't-
same game
They
still.
literally did an update where it was just making the characters have different kisses, and it was the cutest thing. Because I was like, oh my god, it's like their personalities.
No, dude.
Yeah, Will and I did this thing where he'd like spin me in a circle because like our thing was like dancing. You wouldn't get it. You literally wouldn't get it.
Yeah, thank God.
How was your week?
Pretty chill. I didn't play much. So yeah.
Any in real life stories? I actually have one from the gym that I'm gonna share.
No, yeah, I played a little bit of Last Epoch. That was it. The game was pretty chill. And then yeah, I mean, I don't have any real life stuff, honestly. It's pretty boring for me.
Okay. We were doing hack squats.
We were doing hack squats.
And if you're watching the video, you have, I'll try to describe it as well. You have pads on your shoulder, and then, you know, like it has the weights, and you just like squat down, and you're on a, like a rest thing. Like, what's it called? Like a rack?
It's a machine.
It's a machine. I don't know. But it also is like plate loaded, and it's already heavy as is, so I don't put any plates on it.
Yeah, it's 105 pounds.
Yeah. So I was like doing it, and I was like, man, I feel like I don't go that low. Robert's just sitting there with his headphones zoning out. So I went lower. And I couldn't get back up.
Yeah, Michelle.
And I was slowly falling down, waving at Robert, and he didn't notice. And I forgot that there was like a safety thing, so like it does catch eventually.
Yeah, I was like, you could have just went all the way down and then like got out of
Which
the
is what I
machine.
kind of did, because I was waving at you and I was like, Robert, and he didn't hear me, and I was just like, oh.
Well,
it felt so stupid.
Yo, to be fair, this was like literally her 14th rep. Like
yeah,
it wasn't
of the day.
of the entire day, and we hadn't
The
worked out
first
for
machine
4
we're going
days.
to.
So it's not like she was like gassed or something. Like she had
It's just
just begun working out.
But you guys don't even know how embarrassing it was to be waving at him. I'm sure at least one person saw me and was like, what is she doing?
No.
It was very crowded.
No.
I honestly look at people all the time when we're at the gym. I try to be subtle.
Well, that's really weird. I look at no one.
I try not to do it in a weird way, but I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I know what the ceiling looks like better.
I was staring at one of the walls because the other option was someone's butt, and I didn't want to look creepy.
Just stare into the eye.
Of the butt?
You tell me.
The eye stares back.
Yeah.
So that was a cool, embarrassing thing that happened in real life.
Yeah, that's cool. But anyways, I got the weight off of her and it was no big deal. It never really was. It was just embarrassing, I guess.
It felt like a big deal. I was going to get squished.
No, yeah, I don't have any embarrassing stories
Yet.
yet.
But
yeah,
anyway.
that's it.
Moving on.
We could jump into some stuff that I thought was interesting from the community, though.
He wrote just titles on all these, so I don't know what they mean.
Oh, yeah, because it was just talking points. I'm not going to write the whole script for what I want to talk about.
I would.
This isn't a video. But the first thing I want to talk about is Dragon Wilds. So it's been
Neither of us have played.
It's been a week
We should
since
say
it's
that.
come out.
Yeah.
And it, during its release, did hit #1 on Steam's trending page.
Woo!
Quite a few people were playing it, and I think it got good reviews overall. It's just
Yeah.
a lot of people liked the gameplay. It was kind of just like what I was talking about, where it's like it's fun, but then you will inevitably set it down because there's just not a ton to do. You know, it's still in like alpha beta, so it's still
That's just early access.
not a ton of
things.
stuff going on. But luckily, the game itself doesn't suck currently, so hopefully they'll start continuing to iterate on it.
I thought it was cool. One of my coworkers asked if I was playing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, like it's definitely a big game. And he already knows I play old school RuneScape, so it wasn't that shocking. But it was still kind of cool that people like heard of it. I was like, oh my god, that's like I basically work there
Yeah.
for 50 cents an hour.
Big Jagex worker.
Probably less.
Besides that, though, another game came out actually 2 days ago from this recording. Definitely a way bigger game. One of the biggest games of all time. And arguably one of the best games of all time.
I know what you're talking about.
So this is the Oblivion remaster. For anyone that likes Skyrim, chances are you'll like this game. This is the granddad. Right? It's really just the dad of Skyrim.
Skyrim is papa.
Yeah, the granddad is
A
more.
lot of people talking about it in Discord.
Yeah, very good game. Very, very good game. If anyone missed out on it, I would recommend playing it. If you liked Skyrim, you'll like this game. It's a RPG game set in the same, pretty much the same area, timeline, stuff like that. So a lot of the same stuff, magic, swords and stuff like that, but it actually looks like Skyrim, but actually even kind of better.
Oh.
The game itself is $50, but if you get or have Xbox Game Pass, it comes with it for free.
That's cool. So you could just play it temporarily.
Yeah, you could just play it. And also, you might want to get Game Pass anyways if you're a fan of fun games, because the new Doom game is going to be on it as well.
Personally, I hate fun games.
Yeah, I know. I could tell. I offered to get the Game Pass for her, and she said, I might play it next year. So
Yeah,
we're not doing that.
I'm playing Skyrim, and me and Ninja and Wraith are always talking about BG3. I can't play that many games at once. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, she does only stream for 10 minutes, so that makes sense.
That's true. And I mean, off stream, that's too much even.
True.
I haven't been playing games during the week off stream, only during the weekend, because I just don't have time anymore. It's weird.
Yeah.
Going to the gym and having little cats has changed me.
Yep, the children. But that is just a couple game updates I wanted to make everyone aware of. If you haven't tried Dragon Wilds or Oblivion, maybe check it out if you are if you just only have second monitor content for RuneScape going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know if either of us is going to play Dragon Wild soon too. Robert said he's like kind of taking a break from trying to work on the videos to do other stuff in real life because it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, real life stuff
is
overwhelming.
Just a heads up, because I know I'm always like bringing it up. Don't be expecting that right now.
True. Besides that, though, I did want to shout out someone in the community, or two people in the community, two very different things.
Okay.
One is going to be shout out. For everyone that doesn't know, the collection log collectors have been going wild since the new collection log Flex on the block has dropped, which is the gold collection log book scepter.
Can people even have that already?
You can definitely have it already. It's 1,400 collection log in order to get it.
I'm like 805.
So it is quite the grind. And the very first UIM has acquired it.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Ultimate?
On an ultimate.
They dropped 1,395 of those items.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Well, at least probably all of them.
Probably. Well, I mean, like maybe if they got like Ranger boots, you know.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe Ranger boots, maybe
one piece of fashion scape for funsies,
like Dragon Hide or something. I don't know. But yeah, they pretty much dropped all 1,400. But Java U is the person as the RSN. I don't know if that's actually the RSN. That's just what I read. But yeah, apparently they are the first person to get the UIM. It's funny because someone else mentioned in the comments that I guess another person. I don't know how realistically, or that was just the name of the series that they were doing, but they were doing a UIM series for the first UIM to get gold. Obviously, they were not. So now they either have to abandon the series or continue going for it and see how high they can get. I don't know what they're going to do.
I would just continue and just like make it a joke. And like, if it's on the thumbnail, cross it and be the second person to get it.
I would just delusionally get the first still.
Yeah. Just like pretend that you're actually first.
Yeah, just cross.
Everyone's like, what about blah, blah, blah? And you're like, what? Who are you talking about?
Clearly paste your name over theirs.
Yeah, why not? It's funny.
Yeah. But besides that, the other one in stark contrast that I wanted to talk about this week, the rank 3 hardcore Iron Man is deceased.
R.I.P. In-game.
In-game.
Whenever he said it earlier, I was like, someone died?
Yeah, so that was Alcan, big...
More like Al can't keep that hardcore alive.
Damn. True.
I'm sorry, that does suck.
Yeah, so Alcan was the rank 3 on the hardcore Iron Man leaderboards and has
passed away.
Become no more. And it was due to the monkey puzzle room in TOA. It was like a 245 TOA. It was not high.
It's just a bunch of the exploding ones were stacked.
Yeah.
And they moved too late, so it just stacked them out immediately. Yeah, we watched it. It's painful.
There was no counterplay. He just did not know.
He probably just thought there was one, and it's like, okay, I could take one.
He even still
like 3.
Yeah, he was immediately one shot.
Yeah,
Rest
that is so brutal.
A lot of people also did bring up the fact that his high score, even though he's rank 3 now, will quickly become irrelevant because of sailing.
Oh no, he doesn't even have a shot.
He has no chance at retaining his XP ranking.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
All the rank 1 hardcores are like, or the super high rank are like, oh god, gotta get ready.
Yeah.
I guess anyone who cares about rank is probably like very eager for sailing to be out.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for you to be able to be, the first one to 46 or 4.6 bill or whatever. Wow. So
oh, Eileen also hit 200 mil crafting. So Jeezy, Eileen, she was on the podcast before. She is also a hardcore skiller, like on the high scores and stuff.
Yeah.
PVM, but not like deadly PVM.
Also, I think it'll be 4.8 bill now with the new skill. 24, not 23. But besides that was just a couple things I thought I would bring up. The rest are kind of questions. Actually, there is one more thing I'll bring up just because this is something that I saw a mod working on. The rest are questions that I will leave until the questions section because I thought they were interesting. This last one is going to be about mod Genghis. I don't know if they're doing Genghis or Jenghis. For anyone that doesn't know, Genghis Khan was pronounced Jenghis, apparently. I don't know if they're trying to go for that. Why or not what.
Genghis?
Could be Genghis if
they're Dutch.
If they're Dutch.
Oh my god.
But this one was about AFK timers.
Oh.
Kind of weird, but
Stop. I was thinking about the one survey. They're like, if you pay this much membership, you have a longer one.
Right. Yeah, that's cringe. No, this is the opposite of cringe. So Mod Genghis actually kind of did a cool thing, and they put out a like little survey kind of thing on Reddit. I think that's the only place this is. I just randomly stumbled upon this. Didn't even have a ton of upvotes or anything. But Mod Genghis is asking the community about their favorite mobile situation because they are working on a native AFK timer kind of like mod / add-on for the default client.
In mobile?
Yeah, that works for the default client, so it will work for mobile. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you're playing on RuneLite, you get the you can change your AFK timer to be as long as you want, up to 25 minutes.
Like it's not forever though.
No, yeah, I think it's up to 25 minutes. You can adjust it however you want. Normally it's 5, but yeah, this allows you to go 5 times that.
It's very annoying on mobile.
It is extremely annoying on mobile, but
if you're on mobile, you're probably AFKing in my opinion.
There are ways that people are able to strategize or abuse whatever platform they're on, whether that's Android, iPhone, whatever. They're pulling up another app in the background to like stall RuneScape or something. There are ways to extend your your AFK timer unnaturally on mobile. And so he's actually asking, it's funny because if this was like a psyop for everyone to expose the way that they're getting around it, so that they can close up those gaps. They go and
mass ban you.
Yeah, they mass ban everyone. They close up all those gaps. Now it's 5 minutes for sure.
That's so stupid. Now it's 5 minutes for sure.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
They're really locking it down.
But no, he was asking because he's working on a way to extend that timer for native. So if you are a mobile player that does like extending your timer through weird means, or just want to like tell him how much you want this or something, then I would recommend going over to that thread. There was a few people.
It's on Reddit?
Yeah, it was on Reddit.
Okay.
Yeah, a few people were already mentioning like some of the ways that they like to, because like you said, they skill on their phone, so they have like weird ways to get around the 5-minute timer because they're doing laundry or walking the dogs, whatever.
Feeding the cats, not realizing they're getting the heron pet.
Yeah, exactly. So you could also be getting the AFK pet of your dreams. Maybe a little bit easier if Mod Genghis has anything to say about it.
That's actually a cool one.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there because it didn't seem like a lot of people knew about it.
Did they say they're going to extend it, or they were just asking?
He says he's actively working on a way to incorporate that into the default client.
Okay, because I was just like, it would be funny if this was literally just like a bug fix and they're not actually adding anything.
Yeah, I mean, he could be lying. That would be a crazy.
That would be really weird.
Sure.
I don't think that they do that.
Yeah,
to me is too crazy.
That would be wild, but he could be doing that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
speaking of wild, Poll 84 miscellaneous mayhem.
Yeah, I need to work on that. We have a bunch of quality of life stuff from Poll 84 that literally just passed that is already in the game.
This was so fast. This was like the fastest turn on they've ever had for a quality of
Yeah,
life
they
poll.
already had these changes locked and loaded.
Yeah. Starting out with guerrilla aggression. So after completing MM2, you prove yourself more than capable of handling Gillinor's primate problems. So why are tortured demonic gorillas still acting like you're invading their jungle gym? Side note, you are still. I mean, you're still
Yeah.
going and killing them.
Yeah.
But with this change, they've made it so they'll no longer be aggressive post-quest. On top of that, they'll now swap prayers for every 70 damage instead of 50, giving you a bit more breathing room.
This is dumb.
Someone replied, but I don't remember where they replied. They had like a rebuttal to this about
Yeah.
why it's good.
This is
Listen,
dumb.
I like it for myself personally. Lore-wise, it still doesn't make sense to me.
It makes negative sense lore-wise.
Yeah, but as an actual game thing, yeah, I like it, obviously. Duh.
Yeah.
But lore-wise, it's kind of weird. It's like, well, we are still going and killing you. It made sense that you're attacking us.
Yeah, like this doesn't
But
make
I'm okay with it.
any sense because one, you just cannot walk around gorillas casually.
Well-
And number two, you can't casually walk around gorillas that have been mutated and tortured so much that they are now considered demonic, where demonic weapons work against them.
Think about tortured gorillas were tortured.
They are literally tortured so much that they turn into demons.
Oh my gosh.
How can these things be just chill with you walking around?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you also will like this on playing accounts, but lore-wise,
Yeah, I
a
mean,
little weird.
I don't know. Someone did mention, I don't know how many people actually do this, but this is a gigantic L for gorilla AFKers.
Elaborate.
You can't.
Oh
AFK
yeah. Oh my
here.
god, you can't AFK. Well,
Yeah. Unless
you
you
have
take
to.
a,
You have to bring like the tankiest stuff.
obviously, we all know you can take sips of the goading potion. We're not talking about that.
Side note: the goading potion is so nice for Slayer.
Apparently, it was
So
not
good.
working here for a little bit, but it's since been fixed.
Okay.
I do think that swapping prayers every 70 damage instead of 50, that's totally fine. I don't care about
Mm-hmm.
that. And it didn't really make sense before that there was two different timers. Like that's like some boss
Yeah, they're like,
level mechanics.
or if this happened, like what?
That's literally something you deal with at Hunlift. Like you don't need to deal with that at regular
Gorillas.
gorillas. So I thought that was a little overkill. So the 70 damage is better, but the inactive, aggression just does not make any sense.
You give inactive aggression. Goose just like grabbed my hand and bit it as you were saying that.
Yeah, I guess that would be on the same lines as like what are the tormented demons?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you've conquered the tormented demons, you finished the quest. Like,
They're still gonna be aggro.
Yeah.
Because it's not like your allies at the end.
I mean, you're not really the allies of the monkeys at the end either.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, it's like
You're still like kind of their enemy.
it would be one thing if you're like, all right, Gloff taught me your guys' secret technique to tame you immediately.
Damn, that'd be so messed up. You learn that and then you still kill them.
Yeah, like there's no like thing here that makes any sense. If
Yeah.
you beat something more, it doesn't make them like you more. I don't like
The lore's a little weird.
it doesn't make sense.
They should have like, maybe they could have added dialogue to the quest to be like, I don't know, now you have better understanding of them or something.
Yeah.
Something to make it make sense. But I mean, I guess the lore's
Also,
not that deep.
I'm really not a big fan of this because it has like weird implications for. I mean, obviously, it just doesn't make any sense thematically, but it has weird implications for other content. Like why this content? There's nothing significant about you defeating Gloff that makes it so you're okay around demonic or tortured gorillas. There's no other content like this in the game that allows you to do that.
Mhm.
Literally nothing else in the game makes you unaggroed from things.
That I could think of.
Yeah, that I can think of.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you killed, the God King Dragon in DS2. Should you just be, totally fine with going against Rune Dragons?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But it will make it nice whenever I have to go there and bingos in the future.
Yeah, I guess so.
Next one, you want to read it?
Yeah, sure. So this is actually pretty cool. It's a bit of a, random tip, helpful reminder whenever, I actually don't even know when this happens because there's no loading screens in the game, but
It says whenever you
this is
log in.
Whenever you log in, okay.
It's in your chat box.
Yeah, it says immediately if you forgot what you're doing, you'll now be greeted with a random "Did you know?" fact.
It's not going to help you with what you're doing at all.
No, it will not help you. I don't even know why they mentioned that. But it'll give you a fun factoid, things that you actually might not know. Like this one, neither of us knew.
Yeah. So did you know if you are poisoned and access your bank, you can click on the health icon by your mini map and it will automatically use a dose of anti-poison from your bank.
Yeah, we both knew that if you click on your health, it uses an anti-poison.
But now when you're in bank.
We did not know it was from the bank.
So the real question is, do I start stealing these tips to make shorts out of with Bunebape life hacks?
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe this will be a short.
True. Also, if anyone did see the tip that said how to tick combo eat, it was actually wrong.
Yeah, I guess that they had an incorrect one, which
It
I'm
said-
sure is fixed now.
It said specifically if you eat a buon, a potion, and any other food in the same tick in that order, you will tick eat.
That's the wrong order.
And that is the wrong order. It is solid food, buon, brew.
Yeah, brew last.
So yeah, for anyone that saw that and either got confused or thought it was funny, they hopefully fixed it now. But yeah, it was wrong at first.
Yeah, that's an easy fix at least.
Yeah.
Next, we have some bird's nest changes. So snagging a beginner clue scroll from a bird's nest on Members World no longer makes the nest vanish. Also, opening bird's nest will not auto queue if you have them in your inventory. You can still obviously go and spam click them if you want, but if you want to be more AFK, you have the option now.
Yeah. I still don't like
that.
this.
I like it.
No.
I've had so much of these.
Why do you have so many though?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I think it was from like doing mole. Because I remember having a stack of like 200. And you know what else? I think I'd go and do bird nest runs and like not clear them out for like months.
Oh.
So I'd be like, oh my God. And I can only take 14 out at a time. And it's just like, it's annoying.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I get it. I don't know.
Kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
To you.
The next one is actually a really nice quality of life. This is for Wintertot. A lot of people didn't like that the health bar as well as the heat bar overlapped and were really large. So now they have shrunk them down a bit, made them a little bit cleaner, and removed the health bar because that doesn't matter when you're at Wintertot anymore.
True.
Only the warmth bar matters. So they made that the only one that shows up.
You know, I haven't gone back since then.
Me neither.
Yeah, I should.
Eh.
I like Wintertot. I want the pet.
I'd have to turn off my chat again. I'm good.
Yeah, people are awful there. You can also now toggle off the falling snow overlay seen in places like Waterbirth Island. This is for anyone who finds the effects visually uncomfortable or distracting. So you can go to the settings panel and just type in snow, and you can check off to show the snow overlay. Be warned though, that in places where the damage usually accompanies falling snow, you will still be affected. I think that's around like the troll area.
And Wintertot.
Oh yeah, I guess I wonder if it does in Wintertot. Because
Yeah.
this is like more like of the, I don't know. Anyway.
More of the snow variety.
This is just for your eyes. It's still going to affect your hit points. So
it's just for your eyes.
they say that the changes are kind to your eyes, not your hit points.
Yikes.
So be careful.
And the last one is Tower of Life crates. Previously, there could be a chance for them to be completely empty. And
is
now
weird.
that's not the case. There's always going to be something on them.
Yeah. But moving on to merch updates. So Angelscapes has a new line. We have some limited edition Araxer and Rax pins. They're very cutie. I like the Rax one. We also have the Scythe of Viter. I always want to say Verter.
Verter.
Those all three have shown up. So we have the OG, the Sanguine, and the Holy Scythe pins, and a limited. Those are also limited edition.
She said sanguine.
Sanguine? Sanguini.
Yeah, I think it's sanguine, but I mean, you can say sanguine. It just sounds funny.
I like sanguini. Sounds like
Sanguine.
linguini.
Random lore drop because I've been
Okay.
watching a lot of Warhammer 40k lore recently, and one of the Primarchs, which is like kind of like gods of like the human race.
Mhm.
I guess kind of spoiler alert, he died, but
Spoiler alert.
he like drank blood and was named Sanguinius.
Sanguinius.
Yeah.
He drank blood, became Italian?
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
And also it was weird because like they kind of like he kind of became like a pseudo deity figurehead for the human race for a long time because he actually was a mutant, which is typically looked down upon / they straight up kill you if you're a mutant, but because he had giant angel's wings.
Oh, this is X-Men?
No,
Oh, I'm thinking of the...
no, this is Warhammer 40k.
You know what I'm talking about, X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally was like, I don't remember you saying this is X-Men.
No, yeah. But yeah, so like his chapter of Space Marines was called the Blood Angels.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So,
Sanguini.
you know, they like, I don't even know if they actually gained power from it. I think some of them did, but yeah, a lot of them like secretly, shamefully drank blood. And yeah, he had wings, so yeah, Blood Angels made sense.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
We love X-Men.
Yes.
Next up is the Starforge PC giveaway. You guys are actually going to miss out on this by the time it's out. But I'm going to enter this to win a free PC with the RuneScape case on it.
Yeah, $400 case.
Yeah. Is it just the case? No, it's a PC bundle.
It's the whole PC.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going to go for that. Why not?
Yeah, it comes with a Ryzen 5 7600 and a AMD RX 9070 GPU. So this is about like $1,000 computer.
I'm definitely entering this.
Yeah, maybe 1,200.
Sure.
But it is newer parts, 32 gigabytes of RAM. So I mean, if you need a new computer, check it out. Or maybe if your friend needs one, enter for them.
Or if you really want the RuneScape one.
Yeah,
the design is very cool.
true. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is way too much. You know, maybe just commission your homie to like paint on your case.
If you have an artist friend,
give him $100. You'll be helping out the homie, and you'll be getting a cool case. Not that I necessarily hate this the way it looks. It's just a little expensive.
Yes. Other changes.
Yeah, so untradeable bonds can now be converted in the conversion menu using coins from your bank, not just your inventory.
The bond pouch interface now correctly states that Iron Man can indeed gift bonds.
And they increased the size of the click box on the plank wall and roof balance obstacles in the RD agility course.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I don't even remember reading that. Gommel and Lady now give up-to-date information about how to earn CA ranks.
And lastly, the Arceus spells in the in-game skill guide can once again be clicked to find out what runes they require.
I hate finding out what runes
True.
stuff takes outside of the regular spell book.
Yeah, I agree.
It always annoys me for some reason, like makes me irrationally annoyed.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But that seems on track for you.
Yeah. That's it for the update, though. I really hope that there's something coming up.
And well, that was a fail. There is nothing new.
No.
It is Thursday.
We make our own updates, kind of.
Kind of. Especially this week, it's been a little slow, obviously. So I have some more stuff from the community.
Yay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, so.
This first one I thought was kind of cool. Someone went through and actually, because like we were kind of surprised that the community tips or whatever, like the tips that they give you now whenever you log in are actually kind of helpful.
Yeah, they are.
And a lot of things people just didn't know, or maybe they kind of knew, but like never understood.
Never thought about.
Yeah. So anyways, someone was able to compile a few of them. It was a user Sky Guy over on Reddit.
Cute.
They said they have a few of them. So they said if you double click farming, you harvest faster.
That's only something.
Except for bushes.
I thought it was just herbs.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You can combine enchanted jewelry items similar to how you decant potions at Murky Matt at the GE.
Who?
Yeah. You can also you can now right click the Lumbridge stairs / the grand tree to go to the very top or bottom.
That one's new. They just added
yeah,
that.
that is new. You can hop XXX will have you hop worlds instead of control shift arrow left or right.
Okay. I never type it.
I didn't even know either of those were options.
Yeah, I just go to the actual menu.
I just go to the world selector.
Yeah.
And there's also a belt pouch.
A belt pouch?
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't know that.
What do you put in it?
It's not really useful.
Oh, it's just like a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's a few additional that other people kind of chimed in with.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, you can get to the Calphite lair by going through South Dorgish Khan, as long as you have a light source.
The what?
Yeah, like if you go to Dorgish Khan and just go to the south, apparently there's like a cave that'll take you there.
Weird.
Yeah. Also, your box traps will fail 100% of the time if you are standing on them.
Good to know.
And also you can, this is not one that's included, but this is another one I saw. You can attempt to trap anything at any level, except if it's too high level, you'll just fail every time.
Oh, so you can always try.
Yeah.
And you'll just think that you have bad luck.
Yeah, you can always attempt to hunt like a
That's
Chinchompa at like level 1, but you'll just never get it.
Oh, I bet so many people have done that.
Probably. This is random because it doesn't work for pies or anything else really, like cakes. It only works with pizzas, but you can combine two halves of a pizza.
I remember, I feel like that was only a couple years ago.
Man,
Or
probably.
the people were talking about it.
And lastly is that you can note any of your produce that you farm, including herbs, berries, cactus spines, by using it on the tool leprechaun, which that's the only one I knew.
I knew that. That took me like 70 million farming XP to know though.
I learned it pretty early because I was like, I actually started doing like watermelon runs and I was like, there's no way. And I think I found it as like a tip along the way.
I think I did on accident. Like I didn't realize I had it highlighted and I clicked on the leprechaun and I was like, what?
Yeah. I don't actually remember how I learned it, but I remember I knew it for a while.
That one is such a good one, actually.
When I started my Ironman, I already knew it for whatever reason.
I really like that one.
But yeah, so that was a few things I thought were kind of interesting.
Cool. I'm going to steal all of those for videos.
Yeah. Also, the CEO, Mod North, did mention on LinkedIn that
he's hiring me.
He's hiring us. Yeah. Crazy. Big reveal, guys. Yeah. So Mod North, the CEO, did mention on LinkedIn that besides him hiring us, he did mention that Dragon Wilds actually sold over 600,000 copies in the first week.
Okay, cheesy.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Not from us.
Yeah, definitely not from us, but I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's no like million copies, but also they're not
I mean, it's not
company.
even released.
Oh yeah, it's not even released. But I was going to say it's not like an indie company, so it's not like they need the money necessarily. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that means that they'll actually continue developing it instead of just like.
No, I think they are, because I don't think it's our usual mods. Like it's probably their own team who are like pretty dedicated.
Yeah, hopefully. It's funny though if you think about it, that is a lot of money. Like 6 times 3.
18. Is that 1.8 mil?
No, I think that's 18 mil. Because it's 600,000 times 18 or 600,000 times 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just add a 0. Yeah, a lot of money. Hopefully, hopefully that's incentive.
Hire us.
Hopefully that's incentive enough for them to continue.
No, I think they will.
Besides that, though, I do have a few other things I wanted to jump into that I thought were interesting things that I saw this week before we get into the questions.
Okay.
I am going to ask a few of them in the question form to you because I don't know how else to ask them.
That's fine.
Or to present them. So, number one, someone brought up, what's up with bosses being immune to like everything in the game? Like, you know how, for instance, a really good example is a lot of bosses are immune to poison and venom when they introduce the Noxious Halberd. I brought this up and thought it was kind of lame. Do you think they should do you think that's lame? Do you think they should continue that? A lot of people are like, oh, why can't you bring, I think this is a little more egregious, but why can't you bring like cannons?
That's too much.
Yeah, sure. But that's like kind of the line of thinking is like all these things you unlock, you can't really bring to bosses. So they're kind of irrelevant.
I mean, I think it depends on the boss. Like if it's something higher level, it should be immune to venom. Because it's just like this crazy creature that you can't even imagine, you know?
I guess so.
But
it would make sense for things like Zulra that, you know, creates
it's made
the venom.
Of poison.
But like, I don't know, if you're at Zabak.
Yeah.
For instance.
Well, he shoots acid. So that could explain that. Lore-wise.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah. I guess at the bosses that aren't acid bosses.
I'm trying to think of any that don't have any involved because I'm like, Akka's like undead, so it wouldn't affect him. I'm trying to make lore reasons for everything to work.
Lore reasons for everything to work.
Yeah.
All right, what about freezing? Everything's vulnerable to freezing, except for like Vorkath.
And Eldrick.
No, I'm saying everything should be.
Oh, yeah. You can freeze Vorkath?
No, I'm saying it should. That's the only one that wouldn't make sense to be vulnerable to freezing.
I was literally gonna be like, since when?
No, yeah, because it's like, you know, if they're dead, it doesn't matter. You can still get frozen.
I think if they're big enough, they shouldn't be freezable because it's just like the way I think of it in my mind, like Aversic. Aversic, can you freeze her? You probably try, but
no.
Like she's so big, I would just imagine like an ice brush would just like hold a couple claws in place so she could just break out of them because she's huge.
Even if it like, what if all it did was like slow the boss?
Yeah, I mean, that could be interesting.
Made it attack like 1 tick slower or something.
I get why they did it because they don't want everyone to only bring a certain thing to every single boss.
Yeah.
You know, like only bring stuff that venoms, only bring stuff that freezes.
True.
So it's to keep it more interesting. But I think in the future, I mean, like they could definitely open stuff up more.
Yeah. I don't know. So you'd be down if some bosses were like vulnerable to certain things?
Yeah, maybe going forward though. I don't know about going back.
What if Yama was slightly weaker to like frost stuff, or maybe could get like slowed?
That would be kind of cool, and it would make sense after we just had the Royal Titans, which act in that way.
Yeah,
Because I feel like it's not something that they really thought about until, like last year when they started really adjusting it
sure.
about making stuff weak to things. So I feel like now moving forward, but backtracking, it could be kind of weird.
Yeah, true. I
Yeah.
just thought that was kind of interesting because they do present a lot of stuff that is irrelevant for bossing.
That's why I just go to a giant mole.
True.
I'll
Also,
tell you about, and I leave.
speaking of bossing, I wanted to bring up the Grazi, as I do every once in a while.
Okay, and how much you hate it?
Yeah, someone suggested, what if they added, to make it relevant again, what if they added a spec to the Grazi?
That'd be kind of cool, like a slice and dice.
Yeah, maybe it's like a blood, like maybe it's a life steal thing, maybe it's like a blood related something or other, but
'Cause we
something to
don't-
make it useful.
Do we have stab specials? Well, the Fang.
I mean, I guess the thing
the
now, but
Other than the Fang, not really.
no.
That'd be kind of cool. I like my little joke idea, but I'm kind of thinking like, like a fencing sword. If like the special could be like, make you do like the double hits thing, kind of like claws do.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
But
Like
maybe you could like take up like 50%, so you can't do it too much.
yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that because right now, since Fang was introduced, it's like completely irrelevant, right?
Yeah, it's super useless.
It's good if you don't like TOA and you're an iron.
I think it has like one extremely niche use case or something that I've like kind of breezed past while reading before.
Yeah, but not worth buying it for that.
No,
Whatever it is.
No, definitely not.
What would you want to add as a special?
I was thinking like I like that it would be like blood related. I think maybe a bleed would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, Bleed's like a newer one too.
Yeah, like
That would be good.
Maybe a bleed. Maybe it's like a double hit with a bleed, kind of like how the fire claws have like the double hit with the fire.
Oh yeah, the burning claws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the
So-
candy corn.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, maybe something like that. But then again, it's like, that's kind of dumb. Like, I didn't really like that they added the burning claws because it's kind of just like, oh, is every element going to have like a weird overtime effect, like spec weapon eventually?
No, that's why you just want to be some things.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, it would be cool. I just don't know how on brand it would be.
Yeah, and don't want to overdo it.
And this next one, I think we can kind of agree. You and I,
Okay.
if I had to guess, you and I can kind of agree. What's up with being able to permacharge the Blood Fury?
You can't.
You can't.
Oh, okay.
But what if you could?
I don't know.
Like, if you could just feed it, maybe not permanent, but like just you can feed it up to like a ton of charges.
You can
or
feed it a
something.
couple.
I know
blood
you can
shards.
feed it 2 now. It used to only be 1.
Is it only 2?
Yeah, I think it's only 2.
Yeah, I've only
But-
done 2 because I'm broke.
Previously, it would just be 1 and then it would break.
It'd be so funny if it just broke and you lost the blood shards.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want perma because,
What if you fed it like 10 and then it's like, all right, this is corrupted?
well, I don't know. So it's different than the Bofa because that's untradeable. Even though you can obviously buy it.
Yeah.
I actually had all of the crystals to corrupt mine. I just had to buy, or almost all the crystals to corrupt
So you
mine.
didn't. Okay.
But I mean,
So it still wouldn't be corrupted to this day. 'Cause
yeah.
we all know you haven't gone back.
No, I go to Zolcano. I went last week.
Oh, okay.
Still no tool seed, and I'm like 1400 KC by the way. But I, for once in my life, this is the only time you'll ever hear me say this. I'd be worried about the economy with blood shards.
The economy.
The economy.
Oh no, no. Shout out to Samurai. I'm pretty sure Samurai is the person that has like, I think like 40 characters, like somewhere.
Oh, like
in
you've
that,
spoken about before, AFKing.
Yeah, they've rated you before on stream.
They have?
Yeah,
I probably didn't realize it was them.
yeah, they've definitely rated you before.
That's
it's like
cool.
Samurai something. They have like 30 or 40 some odd, like
Oh, wow.
specifically blood shard farming alt accounts.
Yeah. I just do worry because like you could still go there for money making, but it's not going to be worth as much money. Because I think blood shards.
That's still a lot though.
It is, but
10 blood shards is like more than most people have bought even now.
yeah, but people will buy them because people railroad trade, and people are just rich in this game, supposedly, and they don't railroad trade. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want it?
I would be down because I mean
Mhm.
apparently they're just down with adding that for everything in the game. I mean they added it for the Bofa, they added it for obviously the the crystal weapons and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um
Well, I can't really imagine. I'm not an iron, I'm a main. So
Yeah.
from thinking of an iron perspective specifically, obviously it sounds nice.
I thought it was literally the only weapon I thought it was fine for. I thought it was kind of okay for the crystal because the rates for crystal stuff is just a blasphemy. It's so incredibly low. The amount you get from
They changed it though, yeah.
and the amount you get from every activity is so incredibly low that I don't care that they did it for crystal. But the one I'm most in supportive of was the ember weapons because they're untradeable.
Supportive or unsupportive?
Supportive.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because yeah, like all the like crystals from the forbidden caverns or whatever, like they're untradeable, right? Like the Skatiza ones.
Oh, the dark crystals?
Yeah, dark crystals. Yeah, the ones you use to charge the arc light.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's like those were untradeable, so I didn't care that they allowed you to corrupt that.
So I guess that's kind of like my thinking is, do you not feel the same way for blood shards? Because it would be something viable.
I don't know.
I'm not opposed to it being like maybe that combined with something untradeable.
Maybe.
But
I was thinking like if it was such a really high number like 10, I'd be more okay with it. If it was like 3, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, that's no. I do think they should increase it to be like 5 or something.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like, is it 2,000 hits each or 5,000?
I don't know. I just know it's like
it should be 100.
Not enough. If you use it for a while, you're gonna buy multiple. Like
Yeah.
I think I bought like 2 or 3, and I never even used it that much.
You should log in and give me your stuff.
No.
Oh my god.
I think I sold it all, anyways.
Never mind.
Yeah, I think I sold it all and gave it to my alt.
Oh, you gave it to someone in chat.
Oh, I
gave it to Coco.
Yeah, I gave him like 50 mil, but that wasn't even like
because he got scammed.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that was only like 50 mil.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
How much is left?
I only got like I think I have like enough for a bond that's like 15 mil or something.
Oh god, never
And that's
mind.
on like an alt account.
Brokey.
That's actually on my vampire farmer.
Really?
Yeah.
That never even made to vampires, right?
No, I did. I farmed them for a long time. Yeah, that's how I have 15 mil.
God, it's been such a long time. He said he's one thing about Robert, he's a slut for starting new RuneScape accounts.
I mean, I finished that account for sure.
Yeah.
He got to where he needed to go.
But you also just have you like starting new accounts.
I do have a lot of accounts.
Yeah.
But yeah. Besides that though, the last thing I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay.
I've seen I don't know why I've seen so much about this. I honestly think it's a non-issue. But how do you feel about the ability for them to like possibly bring back being able to have one untrimmed skill cape?
I think you should be able to trim or untrim all of them, and that literally doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why does it matter?
I think it's
to show people what you got first.
I think it's kind of like a prestigious thing. Like if you remember
Move my farming cape.
Yeah, I was like, if it's not a hard thing to do. It's just a lot of people are like, oh, I didn't think about doing that when I was 15. Now I'm like 27, and I wish I could do it.
One thing that reminds me of that I'm sad about is I've had a lot of issues recently where I forget the place markers. What are they called? Placeholders.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you're saying.
That they're not on, and I keep messing up my bank. It's because I'm taking out all my loot and I don't want to have to click to clear them all after. But that happened with my mage cape, and I'm so sad because I've been storing all of my capes in the order that I got them, and I don't know what order I got the mage in. So I'm actually like sad about that, but I think it might be on our Instagram somewhere, like way back when.
Okay.
Back when I used to steal memes. I should go just delete all those posts of me stealing memes, to be honest.
Okay. So yeah, you don't care. You don't think it's a thing that people should covet.
I think it's cool, but I also think any cape should be able to be untrimmed just because aesthetic reasons.
Okay.
But I wish that there was a tracker somewhere in game that like kept track of which skills you got 99 at first.
I think it's kind of cool. Like if someone has like if they're untrimmed as Slayer, it's like damn, that's kind of sick.
No, that's fair. There is like a little bit of prestige.
Yeah, you're like,
to it.
dang, that's actually kind of cool. Like you clearly put effort into that.
So can you not untrim your first cape after it's trimmed?
No, you can't. Once something is trimmed, you can like only your first cape will ever be untrimmed. If you have to drop it, you have to drop that cape before you accept any other 99.
So people have done that and probably have like all untrimmed.
No, it's only the first one.
Oh, even if you drop it, the next one will be trimmed still.
Yeah, that one retains its untrimmed nature, I'm pretty sure.
Ew.
So it's only the one.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I do I think it's unfortunate because most people, I would say, haven't had a billion accounts as an adult. So they probably got their 99.
That's what I'm
They got
saying.
their
Like
99 a long time ago, didn't even
it
realize
just
this
seems
was a
like a
thing.
lot of people that have been playing the game for like maybe like 8 years now, they're like, oh, whenever I was like 17, I never thought about getting a trimmed cape, but now I
Yeah.
want it.
Or an untrimmed cape.
Yeah, untrimmed cape.
But like, I remember whenever I got my second 99, I was excited to have mine be trimmed. I'm like, this is crazy. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't realize that there was prestige behind it.
Well, for most people, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but some people, I
some
get the
people-
flex though. Like if it's
Yeah.
something super random, like Slayer's actually pretty crazy if you got that.
Yeah, Slayer would be pretty sick.
That's actually, yeah, pretty cool.
Or even things like, I don't know, like the random like first RC99. Like
gross.
that'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like crazy as in like that's hard to do. It's just you would actually literally be crazy.
I feel like it's hard to do mentally.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not physically, but mentally that requires a lot of strength that I don't have.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought people were being kind of big babies. I'm like, just restart your account or, flex in a different way.
Oh, I thought you wanted them to be able to revert it.
No, I don't. I think
this argument really made it seem like you were for it.
No, I don't like it.
Okay.
I like
think
being able to show off things in the game that you put effort into.
that you knew you were doing to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like like I don't know, like anything in the game that is an achievement based thing that you can show off, like the collection log stuff, that's cool. Because I mean you can't buy that. So it's like you clearly put effort into doing that. It's not like
collection logging.
It's kind of like a small flex thing. It doesn't change your account other than showing people that you've done this.
Yeah. But it feels good.
Yeah, like that's kind of the only thing I care about in most games. So having that stay in the game is like, I think it's kind of babyscape, honestly, if you go back on that and like retroactively change that.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fair. I just think that they should all be convertible. Now that I know, I was almost changing my mind to copy you. Did you see that? And then once I realized that you don't like it, I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah, I think they should all just be able to be changed. You were convincing me of something that you didn't even believe in.
You are misinterpreting your own words. You're asking me if I dislike the option to be able to trim any cape, and I do not like that.
I am wondering. No, I know that. I know that part.
Okay.
I thought you liked the exclusivity and think it should be the only that you should be able to revert the one only, but you don't think that.
No.
Yeah.
I think you should say how it is now. Let me make that clear.
Yeah. And because you were talking about the prestige, it was making me doubt mine. So we both want different things, but I'm just like a copycat. So can I tell you an example?
Sure.
At work today, I saw who the Pride headliners were, and I was super excited about it. I already bought tickets, and I sent Rob, my coworker friend Rob, a screenshot of it. And it was like, OMG. And he was like, ew. And I was like, does no one like them? Do I not like them? And then I'd be like, oh, I'm my own person. Yeah, no, I like them. It's okay. It was a really weird moment.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I'm a copycat.
Yeah.
But I still bought them.
That's
and I was
crazy.
like, I'm my own person. It's not
True.
kind of crazy. And you know what Robert told me today?
What?
He said if it was a theoretical, this did not happen.
Oh my gosh.
He
She's
said
really bringing this up. I'm
if-
sorry you guys have to hear this.
If he walked into the apartment and I was peeing in the litter box, he would break up with me.
In our cat's litter box.
Yeah, well, it's not my litter box.
It would be at that point.
He said he'd break up with me because he would assume I thought I was a cat.
Bro.
I wouldn't break up with you. I'd just be like,
Unless
why'd
you
you
immediately
do that?
were like prank or something.
Even if I did that, you'd be like, what?
No, bro. I'm not even backing down from that. That would
You're
just be
not?
too weird. If you came home and I was like dumping on the lawn like a dog, not telling you it was a prank, just like out there, and
Maybe-
like I was like barking, pretending to be a dog or something.
I wouldn't be meowing.
Like-
it would be more like I was just kind of curious.
Anyone in their right mind would be like, he's having a mental breakdown.
For being curious? His mind immediately goes to, I would think I was a cat.
Okay, bro.
Why is curiosity not up there?
Oh, I mean, this sounds like this wasn't just a what if. This sounds like something you've been thinking about for a while.
No, I just thought it'd be really funny to walk home and see you peeing in the litter box.
Sure, yeah, that'd be so funny. Thank God you told me that, so I'd just do it when you're not home is the kind of laugh you're doing.
Yeah, I could never tell you. But I'm also like so bad at keeping secrets, I would get dumped.
Okay, so we have some
Q&A.
non-ridiculous
First
questions.
question: have you ever pissed in a litter box?
Oh my god, what a crazy...
Dude, I bet someone listening has. And you know what?
No.
I'm not going to judge you.
No one has said no.
Maybe even as a child.
You're lying.
Maybe as a child. Please, 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 just please, someone reply telling us if you've pissed in a litter box.
No, please don't.
I'm not
going
to judge you, and I won't tell Robert.
Please do not tell us that.
He doesn't read the comments. I tell him what they say.
I don't think she realized what she's asking. This is a really weird subject. All right, let's move on.
You not doing anything weird when you were a kid?
Nope. So we have the first question from Harajar.
Harajar. Should there be an airport near POH for gnome glider and balloon transport?
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes. We have the obelisk. We have fairy ring, spirit tree.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool because a lot of people don't use it because it's kind of annoying to get to.
Exactly. I think it'd be cute if they made it look like Goofy, like it was a single one, like it's just like a tiny little balloon over a basket that you can stuff into.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be funny.
They can make it look like whatever you want. I think it would be cool though because it's kind of like the gnome glider is just one step above the railway system in Corinne, where it's like so few people use those two modes of transportation.
I use the gnome glider only because the seed pod takes me right there.
Yeah.
And if it didn't, I would not use the gnome glider.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with a lot of people. Once they unlock Zarek's heart, they just never use the railway system ever again because it's just not convenient. Yeah. Even though it is very good.
I would like that in the house. That'd be cool. Yeah. You know, I literally look at clues and be like, oh, cool, there's a telly. And I'm like, oh, it's railroad. Never mind.
Yeah.
And I'll just run. I would rather run.
I do think it would be really sick though.
Yeah, I agree. And then in real life question from Harger, have you ever gone on a glider or a hot air balloon? I haven't, but I went skydiving once and it was super cool, but probably won't go again.
I thought you were saying that and I was like, since when?
Harger said this. So that's another question I was gonna ask, if you've gone skydiving, but to do it once is worth it in my opinion. I have done none of those.
No, I do not want to do any of those. The one I'm most likely to do is gliding.
I'd be most likely to do hot air balloon.
No.
Well, okay.
That's just too high up.
Technically, if you think about it, I've been in a hot air balloon because the safari park has a little hot air balloon that lifts you up. I've been in it. I'm not trying to show off. It's just the truth.
Sure. Also, there's like a movie about the about people that go up into like I don't know if it's the stratosphere or something. Essentially, like they were extremely early scientists that were exploring the upper limits of the atmosphere.
Oh my god!
And they used an air balloon that got like
shout out.
It was a great movie, honestly.
Shout out like the actual real life people who had to do stuff like that to find out.
Yeah, the movie was based on what people did in real life. They were like freezing to death, taking notes up there because they were like
scientists are nuts.
Dude, they were going up there just to take notes because no one had ever done it at that point. It was a really sick movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who knows if it was that dramatic, but it is cool.
It gets way colder. Like I don't know if they're like freezing like for sure, but it gets cold enough where you can freeze to death.
I want to recommend that movie night. We do movie nights on Saturdays, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's not as amazing I'm making out to be, but as a science person, I thought it was a really cool movie.
Yeah, but I'll go to specifics. Glider, terrifying. What's holding you up? Nothing. The air.
Yeah, it's just the air.
The air.
The thing is, I don't know. I am more interested in that one because it feels like less things can go wrong.
Because you're in control.
No, I don't. I think
you're not really
foolish to think you're in control of the wind.
If anything, while you're in the sky.
But at least I don't have to rely on like someone else packing my parachute.
Yeah.
Because you're not packing yourself unless you're experienced, right? So it's like, hopefully they did it right. I don't like that idea.
I think there's usually an extra, but I just think
they packed that one too.
I know, but yeah.
I was like,
I feel like that's just gotta be one of the worst ways to die because you know what's gonna happen. Like
No, some people live.
Yeah, some people live, but I was thinking about a podcast I listened to where someone purposely cut both of theirs, which you'd be terrified of. And they estimate that the person was falling for at least 30 seconds knowing that they were gonna die.
But
I hate that so much.
That's not that big a deal, honestly. It's
my god, I think that's a very big deal. But yeah, some people do survive. Isn't that crazy?
If you go up and are just not okay with dying, then it's like don't go up. Because there's always a chance.
I never want to skydive. Honestly.
Because
it just doesn't even sound fun to me.
Because like gliding, like one, you're off of a cliff. You can get bad luck, obviously, and things can go wrong. But I just like the idea of like I just am hooked up to this thing
Mm-hmm.
and I just glide, like unless there's like a crazy gust, I'm probably good,
Mm-hmm.
just based on the fundamentals of aerodynamics.
Yeah.
But yeah, and air balloons just seems boring, honestly.
I think it seems cool, but I'd be a little bit afraid. I do want to go. I've seen people like videos and pictures of people going to like the big hot air balloon festivals where you can
Yeah.
see them all. Like, it looks very pretty. I want to go to that
I guess so.
because people will go and just watch it, I guess.
I'm not a big like sightseeing for a long time. Like I'll see the sights and I'm like, that's amazing or whatever, but like I can only look at it for like 10 minutes and then I'm like, good. But those hot air balloon things last hours.
Oh no, I would just want to watch them all start up. I wouldn't stay.
Oh, okay.
The video I watched, it was like them all starting up, and it's like crazy to see the process
Yeah.
of like them being on the ground to being up in the air.
Yeah, true.
And then yeah, skydiving's a no, never.
Skydiving, I'm good.
I used to say I wanted to just because I felt like that was on everyone's bucket list, and then I realized I'm my own person and I don't have to do that. So
True.
I don't want to.
If I ever did anything remotely close, it'd be the indoor one, and I don't even want to do that.
Indoor one seems like it'd be fun. I
Yeah.
would go zip lining.
Yeah,
That's
I would go
close,
ziplining for
right?
sure.
I
No,
think
it's
that's-
not.
Same thing.
I think it's closer to gliding, if anything.
Exactly. There was some other responses to that. So Gail said, I said the same thing after I went skydiving 5 years ago, and now I'm getting the itch to do it again. Doesn't help my first dive was a small place next to me. Not much to see in the sky compared to other larger skydiving venues in other states. Arger said, that's the same for me. I went the most boring area of my country, but Austria has some pretty crazy places you could skydive for sure. Hence why Red Bull was founded here. I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. Good place for extreme sports. Maybe one day I'll go over to the Alps with someone who hasn't gone skydiving yet.
Yeah, you didn't know that Arnold invented Red Bull?
Who's Arnold?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he's from Austria.
He didn't invent Red Bull.
No, I'm just kidding. He didn't.
You almost
But you almost
tricked
thought it.
me.
Yeah, you almost
I
thought
know
about
he's
it.
Austrian, and that was stupid.
Pretty close. You thought about it.
Oh my! I was like, Red Bull gives you wings. Like, why would he even say that? That's stupid.
You can imagine him saying that.
No, I can't. And
It's funny
accent.
though. As far as I know, Red Bull, the recipe comes from like a really, really old recipe that's like supposed to be like just made of like natural herbs and stuff that gives you the energy. But
So why does
obviously,
it taste so gross?
because of that, because it comes from a really old recipe.
I haven't tried Red Bull since I was like 11, and I remember trying it, and like it hurt my stomach. And my older brother and sister are the ones who gave it to me, and my brother was like, "It gives you Red Bulleria,
What?
diarrhea from Red Bull."
Yeah, I understand that,
and
but
that stuck with me.
that is weird. That's on the level of people that say
It's a
that
long
like
time ago.
Mexican food gives you the runs. It's like you just sound like a weak stomach human.
I was a weak stomach human.
Yeah,
and I think
know.
he
That's what
was
I'm
as
saying.
well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're just admitting to me that you have a weak stomach.
You
whenever
already know
people say
this.
that.
Oh, okay. I was like, you know.
Yeah, not you. It's no secret.
Okay. Next question. We'll go with Matt's. So, highly controversial proposal incoming. What would your thoughts be on the following? OSRS should have diminishing XP rates the longer a player trains a skill over a certain amount of time in a certain time period. This would encourage players to not engage in painfully long grinds and switch things up. Why? It'd be better for mental health. For example, training Herbler for over 2 hours in a 24-hour period will reduce training XP to 80% for hour 3, 60% hour 4, etc. I assume you will hate this idea, and then he has another question for that reason.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think this is a good idea, but forcing people to play a certain way or feeling bad about playing a certain way is also a terrible idea. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think it's more of a terrible idea than it is a good idea.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah, like how you said. Like mentally, it'd probably be great.
Yeah.
But people don't like being told how to play. Like, I already don't want to skill for more than an hour. And especially if I'm being told, like, my XP would go down, like, exponentially.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be such a bummer.
Yeah. Like, for instance, in, like, Battlefield, a content creator was, that's, like, relatively new since, like, I think, like, last year, became really big because all he did was, like, pretty much go to the furthest end of the map and he's like an older guy. I think he's like I don't know if he's like a grandpa, but think of like that age.
I really thought you were about to be like 38.
No, very
Not as old as like Raniel, like
in the
33.
upper echelon of gamer age for
Oh,
sure.
okay, cool.
And so he would just sit in the way far end of the map and snipe people at like incredibly long distances.
That's goofy.
But a lot of people, you know, I would even wager the vast majority of people would say that he's like, you know, not playing the game properly. He's definitely not getting a ton of XP, especially per hour or whatever.
Wait, he's enjoying himself?
But yeah, he's having a good time. I don't know how many kills he gets. It's definitely not a ton, but he has a good time.
One every 3 hours.
And then people obviously like watching him because he kind of blew up. You know, he was like killing people out. Like, you know, there were great kills, great shots in this game, but it's like
everyone's confused. Like, where did that even come from?
Yeah, but it's like a lot of people are like, most people would be like, oh, this is boring. You know, this is like also like you're supposed to be run and gun, you know, stuff like that. You're supposed to be in the action. But if you incentivized, you know, not doing that so much so that he didn't have a good time, he would just not go to or not play that game or, you know, not have that opportunity. So,
and people will find ways to somehow get around it or just like not do it, like you said, because we already have the 6-hour timer, right? And you know what we do? We hop worlds.
Yeah.
And it resets. We don't care about our mental health when we're playing. When Leagues comes out, we're all mentally ill. The rest of the time, you know, I'll take breaks.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, if it was like if there was like a scale, it was just like way too high on the bad scale to outweigh the good.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Matt did ask a mini question to lighten the mood. Do you know any games that do this?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know a single one.
Yeah. Sorry, are you looking, Matt?
Yeah, the only
looking to suffer.
The only thing I could even remotely consider as being something similar is like maybe games like World of Warcraft or other games that have like rotating cycling time-based game things. Like for instance, like maybe only these certain hours of the day you can do this boss, or these certain hours of the day you can do this daily or this mission in general. So it's like, it's not saying that you're getting less XP, but it's really rewarding you for doing not the content you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not the same thing, but it's the closest thing I can think of.
The same like mindset kind of.
Kind of, but it's not really them trying to like diminish whatever you're doing. It's really just them trying to get a lot of people in one place.
The closest I could think of mental health breaks is in Animal Crossing. They introduced in Animal Crossing New Horizons, you know, like on the Switch, they introduced this one thing that you could go and stretch every day, and they encourage you to stretch with your controllers as well.
Yeah.
And I turned that off.
That's cool. Wow, nice.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I just want like whatever rewards I could get.
Yeah.
I got a leotard.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. I was thinking of a collection logger on Animal Crossing as well.
Yeah, it's kind of actually weird.
Okay. Anyway, RS schools.
Do you think you'd have the golden collection log in Animal Crossing?
I think so. The thing is, like, I want to actually go and look at a list and see what I have, but I don't want to see the items I don't have. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Well, because the other week, I don't play as much as I used to. I like play like every month or so.
Yeah.
The other week I like went and I got a recipe and I was like, oh, let's click it so it could tell me I already have it. And I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Because I have like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's kind of.
I'm not trying to show off.
She's kind of a freak.
Okay.
A New Horizon freak.
Yeah. Matt also replied to, RS Schools replied to Matt's question about the XP, saying, interesting take. I like it, but what about people that have one skill up to max or wish to get 200 mil XP in a skill? Do they also suffer?
Yep.
Yes, everyone would have to suffer.
Yep.
I'm answering for Matt on that, yeah. And then a question from RS Schools. Fun imaginative question. If you were to be made into an NPC/character on RuneScape, what is the backstory to it? Quest lore rise, and what purpose will you serve, or will you be purely lore based? I have a cute idea.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know exactly how it would be. I feel like it would have to be in Varlamore, right?
Yeah.
I have two ideas. One, I'm like a farmer with either like alpacas or capybaras or something. But I feel like it'd be funny, like I'm inside, just like, they don't have computers in RuneScape, so maybe just doing like some weird thing, like looking like at a piece of wood that I drew a picture on and pretending it's a game.
Sure.
That'd be funny. The other one that I kind of like a little bit more is neither of them serves the purpose. They're literally just like would look cool.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like it could look like me or whatever. And then maybe I'll have like a pet rat for Scurious. And the other one, I have a cat cafe, but it's like it's different because it's a cafe and the cats are sitting at the tables like I'm serving
Oh,
them.
okay. So
Mhm.
it's a cafe for cats.
Yeah, I just think that'd be
And they
cute.
and then the cats come in and pet naked humans.
No, no.
Oh,
Um,
well, I thought it was gonna be like the reverse.
they just crawl in like, "Rawr."
Yeah, exactly.
That's super creepy.
Yeah, super,
No.
super Black Mirror.
Yeah, and then maybe in the kitchen there's like a giant rat cooking.
Oh, so you're the chef.
No.
You're Remy.
I'm the hostess. When they come in, I'm like, hello, how many
Oh,
chairs?
you're Remy's wife, the hostess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I just thought those are both cute. I don't want to do anything to help players, not in like a rude way, but I just want to be cute.
True.
Like Witchycraft's character is just like there for like lore reasons.
Oh, I didn't even know that she had a character.
It's
I
in the
forgot.
Hunters Guild. She has like a little
I've
cute
never
section.
Yeah, I've never really been in the Hunters Guild.
You got the pet.
I got the pet after 6KC or something.
It
So
was 2.
yeah, 2. Yeah, it's like I wasn't there that long.
That's true.
So I mean,
What would your character be? Wait, can I say what I think it would be?
okay.
Every character, you know the ones that like ring the bells saying announcements?
The crier.
Yeah. You would be next to every crier and your character's arms are crossed saying, "Who cares?"
What? What a weirdly hostile take.
Wouldn't that be funny though?
No.
I think that'd be so funny.
Definitely not as funny as you think.
Because everyone thinks he hates the game. I just think that'd be so funny.
Dang. Wow, what a weird shot.
No, not you. Because people think you hate the game. It's like ironic or whatever.
Yeah, that's a weird shot.
You said I'd be in the back as a rat making stuff.
You said that you'd have a cat cafe where the cats are petting naked humans.
I did not say that, actually. What would you be?
But I had 2. One or both would be like probably quest related.
Okay.
Or like maybe an NPC that just like sells stuff. But one would be, I think, kind of funny if there's like a quest based around like a riddle, or not a riddle, but like puns maybe.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I don't even know how it'd be like, but it'd be like something clever, I guess, would be
like
funny.
a little novice quest.
Yeah, like a super novice quest where it's like, oh, I have you go get me something, and it's not what you'd expect, but it makes sense if you think about it like a pun related to like
you're a little riddle
character.
man.
That would be funny. Second would really be funny is if and it would also relate to how apparently everyone thinks about me on this on the podcast, is if like you talk to me for a quest or something, or maybe like an NPC, or if I pop up as like a mini game or something, and my character is just known for like yelling things that are like statistically slightly wrong.
Wait, that would be really good.
Yeah.
That's more of a shot than the one I said.
It'd be all like, have you gotten your dragon boots yet? It's only 1 out of 547. It's
like 1 out of 80 or
Yeah.
180.
Yeah.
I like that actually.
Yeah, just something where it's just like, or yeah, even more like close, but like just actually wrong.
Yeah, just shout out some facts and then people will be sure to tell us that they're wrong anyway.
Yeah.
So what is the
exactly.
dragon boot drop rate? Say it confidently.
I think it's 418.
It's 418. It's not 1 at 128, that's for sure.
I was gonna say 128.
Were you?
I'm pretty sure it's 128.
It is. He knows that. You know, it'd be funny if we were both wrong and it wasn't 1 at 128.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
That would be so funny. You just pop up out of nowhere.
Or yeah, no, or yeah, exactly. Like I'll be like maybe like a tip guy, where like if you
all the tips are wrong.
if you read my text, maybe it's like a real tip, but then as I disappear, I'm yelling something, and if you just read me yelling,
It's a lie.
that would be wrong. It'd be like, oh, go get your draconic visage. It's only 1 out of 100.
Stupid. What would your name be? Like Misinformed Robert? Misinformed Rob?
Or no, I would be a girl character named Miss Informer.
That's so good.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Okay. And then the other could be Riddle Rob.
Oh yeah, true.
Misinformer?
Yeah,
Wow. You really do the puns, don't you?
that would be sick.
That would be so good. Oh my
Yeah.
god. When are you guys adding us to the game?
Unfortunate.
Just waiting.
Yeah. I literally only know of one character that's ever been added to a game. like I know it happens, but I only know of one, and it was
Someone died.
yeah, Wreckful was added to World of Warcraft.
You know, it'd be so messed up if you died and they added an NPC to the game just shouting off incorrect facts. That would just feel like
That'd be sick.
it would just feel like they're making fun of your death.
That would be sick.
If you die like young, I mean, you know what? Maybe you're 90 and I
When
hit up
I die
Jagex.
young.
Oh, I'll hit them up and be like, listen, he really wanted you guys to put an NPC in the game shouting lies. You need to do this for him.
True.
You right click RIP Rob. Also, life hack.
Yeah.
That's super funny. I really like yours.
That's it though.
One more question
Sure.
from Wraith. How would you improve player-owned houses? Wraith's answer was add more room layouts that are not just cubes, more flexibility to move furniture, add bathrooms, LOL imagine, so I guess not bathrooms. Allow custom coloring options for materials paint, add a bar and billiards room, drop party feature, trophy room to showcase collection log items, which we kind of have a little bit. Allow ownership of multiple homes, for one for max efficiency and one for socializing.
That would never happen.
Yeah, no, because people would only use it for the efficiency.
I think they already said that would never happen just because it would require so many resources.
Yeah, Wraith, how dare you?
But with that in mind, I do think the housing system is really lame.
Yeah.
Because it's not a player-owned housing system. It's really just player-owned room you crafted that is like everyone else's room
It
exactly.
kind of feels like
pretty
we're
much.
on rentals.
Yeah.
We're on rentals and just like decorating
Like
it.
we're all in the projects.
Yeah.
Because they're all exactly the same and no one wants to be there.
We're in suburbia. It's the same
I
exact
guess
house.
so. It's the same thing, just
It is, isn't it?
yeah, I guess it's kind of the same thing.
Much to think about.
But yeah, I think it's pretty lame that there's not circular rooms,
That is so
octagonal
fun.
rooms.
You would have so much fun building a base in RuneScape.
I don't know how difficult it would be. I can't imagine it would be very difficult for you to have just a bunch of available swatches that you can just paint the walls whatever color.
I don't want like a color wheel because they did that in The Sims and stuff like that, and it gets overwhelming.
Yeah, just give us a bunch of
Give
swatches.
us like 12.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be a ton. And I mean, obviously the flex ones would be cool. Like also
Like lava.
we've talked about this a million times.
Mhm.
Why is there no like rare Araxor spider web wallpaper?
There should be.
Like there should be like,
Have we talked about that a million times?
we've talked about it a bunch.
They should do that for Halloween, like a little spider one.
Or it's like, oh, you've done the Inferno 15 times. You got the rare Inferno falling lava wallpaper.
That would look
like,
cool.
Or like a fountain.
Of
Like,
lava.
why is there no like rare furniture pieces?
Yeah, like unlockables. I mean, we have the.
You can still maybe craft them, but like get them at least.
We really just have the Hasidious house unlock.
Yeah.
The theme. I also think you should be able to use different things in different rooms.
Yeah, it's not that big.
It's not super customizable.
It's not that hard to add these things. Very low hanging fruit, and
Yeah.
by hard as in like hard to imagine. I don't make this game.
I think it could be cool if you can move stuff around in the rooms, because obviously we have all the presets.
Yeah.
But if you could like adjust them more. I know people would use that for efficiency, but I'm purely thinking cosmetically about how every house is the same design. You just fill it with different things in those specific spots.
Yeah, I don't really care, honestly.
Yeah.
I think there's a ton of stuff you can do. They could probably go log into Warframe and just take some notes out of there, because they have a crazy amount of like customizable stuff. You can like take screenshots from in the game and add them to like holograms that are in your room, and you can place things pretty much anywhere you can place them.
Yeah. I don't know if I wanted that crazy, because like, you know, it's still RuneScape. It's still like
It's still RuneScape.
It's still old school.
Oh, it's still old
but like
school.
something. Surely.
Yeah,
But they're adding some more stuff, some more options, so that's cool. We're on the right track.
I guess.
But it's a long way to go,
It's
for
slow
sure.
going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think they could add more stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. Thanks for asking your questions. We do, as always, appreciate it. If you want to ask more questions like that, or yeah, if you just want us to shout you out, you can do that too.
Shout out Burnt Toast again.
Shout out Burnt Toast.
Saying best in slot last week.
Yeah, Michelle always tells me about whatever you're saying.
Until you're mean to me, and then I won't tell him. So don't be
True.
mean to me.
Yeah, so shout out to all you guys that asked questions. Thanks again. Hopefully you all ask another one. You can do, if you've never asked before, you can just go to any of our socials and ask there.
Yeah, our TikTok and Twitter, Bunebapeosrs, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky are all Bunebape. I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. And if you listen on Spotify, consider like leaving us a little follow because we're at like 498 Spotify followers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've actually gotten like a decent amount since I first brought it up on stream because I didn't realize it helps the algorithm. So
Yeah, we should probably say that at the beginning and not the end of the podcast.
yeah, probably. But you know, if you're still here, I'd appreciate it. And if you like it, you know,
chances
click
are,
the
if they're here,
stars.
they already are.
That's true.
But we do appreciate you listening for another week, and hopefully we'll see you in one more.
Very soon. Bye.
Why did you just steal my thunder?
I thought that's all you were gonna say.
That was just a long pause.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hi.
So hopefully you all enjoyed it, and if you did, then we'll see you all
Very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.